we want to be remembered as a restaurant that delivers on quality, but very, very thoughtful at the same time. With us, I can confidently say we're very intentional about what we do. Even what plates we choose for your dining, what issues you get, we're very intentional about choosing each one. We pay the same attention to the dishes that we curate and the service that we give. I think when people think about us, what we want to represent is someone that really, really caters on quality, excellence, and those little things that people usually forget, but I think matters a great deal in a restaurant. Hi, I'm Tara, owner and chef at Hooroo restaurant in BGC. So I've been a chef since 2009.
Hey, di ko mo lang sisila.
Yes, chef.
Actually, it wasn't called Hooroo at the beginning. It was called Oi, which was how Aussies parang called close friends na, Oi, how are you doing? So they don't really call each other by name. That's where it first started. Actually, that name didn't come from me because I was supposed to open the restaurant with two other friends. Pero we eventually decided to part ways. So because of that, I also wanted a clean slate and decided to go with Hooroo. From Oi to See You Again felt also fitting. When I first started, kasi everybody was just tasting components of everything. Parang it's not the whole dish. So, Filipino palate's a little bit sweeter. The comment was whenever they tasted something was add a little bit more sugar. I was stubborn about that. Most of the time when we consider the menu or we're doing something, we're trying to achieve essentially is make sure na parang people still feel that they get real value for their money without us having to explain na it's like that because we use this premium ingredient. Kasi a lot of the diners in the Philippines, they don't place such heavy importance on where their food comes from. Not that it's a bad thing or a good thing, it just is. Because of that also, it's harder to explain why your dish costs this much. So in Australia, they always ask, saan galing yung chicken ko, saan galing yung ganito ko, why is it like this, or is it organic, or is it ganyan. If you give them a dish and you say, it's from this place, there's less questions as to why it was priced as such. We make sure na when your food hits the table, the portion is good, it looks great. So parang when it hits, okay, so I get why it's like that. Kasi we also still get guests sa labas pa lang, ayaw na pumasok. Kasi they say, parang expensive. Pero when they actually eat here, and then they say, okay, for the quality and for the portion, it makes sense. We get feedback everywhere, so we know where to adjust, we know what to improve. At the same time, we also make sure na because our food is not the cheapest out there, it comes with good service. So the surveys know the food, if you ask them questions, they'll be able to answer you. They know what to do when there's complaint. They really pay attention to you. Same with the kitchen, they won't send out food that they're not happy with. So even if I'm not in the kitchen, these guys don't really send out something that they're not happy with. And the servers don't take out anything that they're not happy with. That's where we try to make sure na at least when you come in, you have a great experience. And it's relaxed, it's not stiff, you're happy, maingay, and so all of those things. It feels premium, but it also doesn't feel like fine dining. So a little bit of both. Yun yung environment that we really want to keep. These flavors will always be something nostalgic to use. For us, what we like to do is find the touch points where we can parang insert a little bit of familiarity, whether it's flavor or in technique or how it looks like, to get the people comfortable and already kind of have some form of connection kahit na hindi pa nila na susubo yung dish. So, it's something unexpected but also expected at the same time. So, that goes for all the dishes. It was very, very difficult. So difficult for us to source ingredients at the beginning. If they don't know you, they don't know the brand, then syempre we're a startup. They ignore you. It was only until we opened and then people actually saw the space and then they saw that they're doing okay for parang they're doing reviews and stuff. That's when it became easy. Some of them actually, hindi ako financing before, hindi kami financing before when we were just starting. Now they're the ones coming. So much easier if you have a name, pero it was so difficult for us at the start. Most representative, I guess, if you asked me a couple of weeks ago, it wouldn't have been the short rib. But after seeing how it's been received, I definitely can say we're most similar to that. Coming from a point of view of someone who wants to do interesting things, for me, so parang syempre familiar but also interesting. And then I found it really, really difficult, almost parang reluctant talaga to put adobo on kasi it's too close to home. Everybody's got their version of adobo. Everybody knows their adobo. Everybody feels strongly about their adobo. But my sister really, really loves adobo. So wherever we eat, she orders adobo. If it's adobo, she's 100% gonna order it. So despite the reluctance, sabi ko, sige, I'll give it a go. But we'll put a Hooroo spin on it. So we'll make it gravy style, which is more Australian, more Jew style. It's short rib, it's braised, it's big. So you get a sense of Australia, I get a sense of Filipino. But I was kind of nervous about the dish. But unexpectedly, it's super well received. Like almost everybody gets the adobo short rib. So I guess I have my sister to thank for that. Okay guys, good morning.
Good morning po. Today po may reservation tayo ng 11:30, 2 packs. Then, may 40 packs din tayo. Sana yun, lahat cocktails doon, focus natin. Drinks, ability ng lahat po ba available na?
So, kitchen, available naman lahat. Yung chicken wings will be available soon. It will be available by the time the group comes. Anything to push? Sorry.
Bago.
Glenfiddich. So, may sila, yung table of 40 will be here for cocktails. So, very premium cocktail. Kung may mga VIP nga, you can offer it neat on the rocks with a drop of water or with ginger ale. Pero for this specific one, I don't recommend kasi sayang, it's very, very good quality. Pahirapan nyo tong dalawa sa bar today, oh. Ready kayo sa cocktails? Egg whites. So, hindi natin makita sa window tong dalawa ngayon. Should be okay. Kahapon pa daw sila ready. Kaso hindi mo sila tinulungan kahapon.
Sorry po. Let's go.
86. Ikaw pag 86. Yung reservation for today, the 40 packs actually was a surprise. There's 30 of them. You're looking to have wine, beer, and cocktails. And siguro kung pagkain man, just a little bit of pika-pika. Yeah, we can definitely accommodate. And then 30 became 40. And then someone reached out nung nag-function before. Ang napapansin namin, we always get the reservations from recommendation of someone, which is a really good sign for us. Service is about to start. We're about to get busy. We'll chat with you later. When I was back in Australia, what I really loved there was the fact that everybody had parang a consistent cafe or restaurant that they go to. They're regulars there. Pero usually, these places roughly made. Parang, but they serve good food. Parang they're owned by smaller independent businesses. Kung nandun ka sa suburb na yan, there's, in this parang street, there's this one that everybody goes to. So, in each suburb, there's always one like that. Parang a little bit industrial na medyo unfinished, brutalist, I guess is the right word. So, yun yung in-adapt namin na concept. We just polished it a little bit kasi syempre, the clientele in the Philippines is different naman. Parang they also like their Instagrammable spaces. But you see the same elements. So you get the sense na parang it's okay to relax. Pero the way it's been done also feels like you're getting what you're paying. Yeah. One of the things that I made sure to tell the guys is tanggalin nyo din yung script. Kasi it always comes from us. That I feel like kung bakit yung mga ibang restaurant feel so uptight is the service, is the people. So yun yung one of the things na talagang big no-no sa kanila na parang you can call them ma'am, sir, yes, but be relaxed. It sets the tone for the guests na it's okay to play around, it's okay to joke around. So that's what we want. Then they always remember the space na parang it's a space where I can laugh and have fun but also enjoy really good. When we started talking about Valentines, we already knew that we needed to have chocolate on. Kasi it's Valentine's, you gotta have chocolate. So, I know a lot of places do chocolate for Valentines. Apart from the chocolate, which we already know we have to put in there, we have to put something else. So, then came the roses. Some flowers chocolate makes perfect sense. So, when I told them na, guys, we have to make roses and chocolate dishes. Wala, what do you mean? Sabi ko, I mean, there's roses and chocolate everywhere. So, sabi nila, okay. Sabi, okay, let's do it. Pero, I still felt na something was off. Kasi sabi ko, alam mo yung you get that gut feeling na parang when you think something is the best idea, you get that gut feeling na, this is it. I liked flowers, roses, and chocolate, pero it didn't parang excite me that much. Until we started talking about, hindi ko rin alam bakit, napunta kami dun sa mga childhood parang games and flowers that you do. So, na-bring up yung santan. And then I was like, oh, that's it. Santan. We don't need to do roses. We just do santan. It makes perfect sense, di ba? Nauna actually yung mga cocktails in developing. Nauna yung cocktails. So, they did it pretty quickly. They nailed it. Pero it was a little bit harder for the kitchen to get those both chocolate and santan into the dishes. So, eventually, I mean, we succeeded. There's still some tweaks right now. Pero yeah, we're really, really excited about santan because I don't think we see it a lot in other places. A play on a street flower, if you will. But I think it makes the most perfect sense. So, parang, di ba, when you come and you eat and you see santan, you get a sense of na parang, oh, kinakain ko lang to nung bata ko eh, di ba? So, for us, hopefully, it's well received then once we release the menu. So, the three-course menu will include, again, crudo, a kilaw, and then meat dish, and a dessert. So, the crudo is tuna. So, raw tuna slices with burnt citrus and pomelo vinaigrette. That's made with the honey wine infused with santan flowers. So, there's that. So, a little bit fresh and bright. Something to parang wake up your palate for the next course. So, the next one, you'll get something a little bit heavier and more robust. So, you get a steak with a bit of crumb on top with puffed quinoa, sesame, fried onion, fried garlic on top, and then a blackberry and chocolate sauce. So, it's a bit more heavy and a bit more filling. So, entirely parang flip the switch from the light to a heavier one. And then for dessert, something refreshing to finish off the whole meal. So, you get a bit of strawberry, lychee, and pomelo granita with whipped white chocolate ganache and santan rosé jelly. So, a play on ice candy and jelly ace, if you will. Yeah, so that's Valentine's for us this coming Feb 14. When I stopped to think about it, all the difficult things that passed actually felt like they needed to happen. During that moment, lagi kang parang, why is this happening? Why is this stressing me out? Ganyan. Pero parang pag nakalagpas na siya, okay, now I see why it's got to happen that way. It all worked out for the better in the end. Tapos with the team, I'm very, very lucky, honestly. A lot of them came from different backgrounds. Some of them have no experience in restaurant settings like this. Some of them do. Some of them had experience abroad. So it's really, really a good mix. But what I'm super lucky about, everybody is really keen to work hard. They learn fast, they adapt fast because they want to. So I'm lucky in that sense. But kasi their attitude is super right. It makes everything so much easier for me. They're even more excited for the restaurant, sometimes more than me. So parang sila din yung parang, magkakaroon tayo ng next lunch. So sa next lunch, ako dun, di ba? So that's what I'm super grateful for and super lucky. Some of these guys, if not all of them, will be with Hooroo for a very long time. Hi, I'm Tara, owner and chef at Hooroo Restaurant in BGC. We're at the second floor, Park Triangle Mall, 32nd Street. It's right across One Surrendra. You won't miss it. If you're curious and you want to see and try, you can reach out to us via Viber. It's in our socials, Hooroo_BGC at Instagram and Hooroo Restaurant at Facebook. So send us a message and we'll gladly get back to you, and then you'll easily find us and enjoy a meal.